In case you couldn't tell, video games keep getting weirder and weirder. If you've played a video game in the last 5 years, you know just how large and complex the worlds in them are becoming. But because of that, the door becomes open to bigger problems like glitches, which aren't always caught by the developers during testing. In part 1, I showed you some of the most bizarre video game glitches ever, and this time we're taking it to a whole other level. Get ready. Here are the 10 weirdest video game glitches, part 2. Number 10 are Mafia 2's demons. There have been a lot of Grand Theft Auto clones throughout the years, but 2K Games' Mafia 2 is one of the best. Despite this, it still has a bizarre glitch. Released in 2010, Mafia 2 follows the criminal escapades of Vita Scaletta, a war veteran who has to pay off his father's debts by working for the Mafia. In the game, you meet many NPCs, but if you played this game on some systems at release, including a MacBook, one of those NPCs turns into a demonic creature. When Vito is speaking with his mother in a cutscene, suddenly his dear sweet mama's skin sheds off, revealing a burned, rotten appearance. Seriously, she looks like Leatherface on a very bad day. Not only that, but her ears are missing and her eyes are like two black holes about to suck you into the underworld. No hugs for you today, mama. No. Number 9 is Mass Effect's Chicken Dance. While the 4th game in the Mass Effect series was widely mocked for less than flattering facial animations, it's the original game which contains one of the series' stranger bugs. The first game was released in 2007 and focuses on Commander Shepard's galaxy-wide quest to stop a tyrant and his sentient robots from conquering all before him. You'd think this would gain Shepard some respect, but one glitch just outright mocks him no matter what he does. Whenever the commander turns his back on his companion, Kaidan Alenko, Kaidan breaks out that most cutting of insults, the chicken dance. He flails around behind Shepard's back, but whenever Shepard faces his companion, the joke stops. Proof positive that AI is preparing to subvert humanity. First they did the funky chicken, then they ruled the world. Number 8 is San Andreas' underwater photographer. San Andreas, one of the great games from the PS2 era. But despite its carnage-filled citywide gameplay, the sprawling urban landscape has some unsettling glitches. Just like the other entries in the Grand Theft Auto series, the game has a lot of creepy bugs attached to it. One of those bugs arises when a photographer spawns next to a river. At first, everything seems normal. The photographer is just going about her day, taking some pictures of a scenic view. Once she finishes capturing the moment, she then casually walks off, but not back into the city. No, this photographer walks straight into the water and disappears beneath the surface. If you leave and come back, another photographer appears and does the exact same. Maybe there's a secret convention for underwater photographers down there? Number 7 is Crysis Land Sharks. When Crysis was released in 2007, it became the gold standard in first-person shooter graphics. The technology was so advanced that even most gaming rigs couldn't run it on its highest detail settings. Despite this technology, however, the game had some hilarious bugs on release, and one of them in particular was the stuff of nightmares. At one point in the game, the protagonist can stand on a beach and shoot at a number of huge great white sharks in the water. Normally, you'd think you'd be safe in a situation like this, but not in Crysis. Instead, a bug sometimes allowed the sharks to come out of the water and attack the player on land. My greatest nightmare. These monstrous creatures from the depths can now fly through the air, baring their teeth as they rain down on everyone in sight. Note to self, do not go near the sea. Number 6 is Gears of War Irish Jig. Gears of War is a gritty post-apocalyptic third-person shooter following the deadly struggle between the last remnants of humanity and a species of reptilian hominoids known as the Locust Horde. The creatures rise up from their habitat deep beneath the earth and decimate everything in their path. For that reason, humor is hard to come by in such a grim setting. However, one bug does bring with it some levity. One of your NPC comrades, Kim, is best at shooting anything that moves, but in one instance she's a pretty good dancer. Sometimes his character model will judder around. The animation looks suspiciously like some sort of Irish jig. Unless this is some secret maneuver to defeat the Locust Horde through the medium of dance, I reckon that this is a glitch. Number 5 is DayZ Soulless People. DayZ was extremely popular when it was first launched in 2012 as a mod for the game Arma 2. Eventually, it became its own game, and while its release was not without controversy due to glitches and development speed, it still has a loyal player base. DayZ drops you into a massive player map where zombies walk the land, and you have to fight for survival against other players while avoiding becoming a meal for the undead. In one of its more unsettling glitches, some versions of DayZ created soulless players. If a player exited the game suddenly, they would sometimes leave their playable character model in the game world. This character would be invulnerable to damage, but would often spray blood on surrounding players and environments. It's good to share, I guess. Number 4 are FIFA Giants. FIFA regularly competes with Pro Evolution Soccer for the title of Best Soccer Video Game. Each year, both franchises release updated versions, complete with incremental features and player rosters. However, FIFA has one little trick up its sleeve to leave the competition dead and buried: giant goalkeepers. In some iterations of the game, a bug will supersize the goalkeepers, who then tower over everyone else. You might think this would give you an advantage, but unfortunately, this also produces bizarre physics effects, including turning the player into, jello. Blah, stopping the soccer balls with the jello arms, blah, blah, blah. In some instances, the goalkeeper is missing arms and even its entire upper body. Other FIFA player bugs also produce outfield players with legs bent in excruciating angles. Number 3 is Rocky's Bizarro World. Who doesn't love Rocky? The inspiring tale of the Italian stallion rising up from poverty to become the greatest fictional heavyweight of all time is amazing. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. But you might tear up if you ever played Rocky the game on PS2. As pointed out by the angry video game nerd, this game has some of the strangest glitches ever seen. Like something out of an H.P. Lovecraft story, the game randomly renders boxers with missing jaws, inverted skulls, strange appendages, and facial features that look more like a Jackson Pollock painting than Homo sapien. Rocky himself isn't immune to these effects, and when he goes into lidless death stare mode, it's difficult not to scream, kill it with fire, and then run in the other direction. Number 2 is Fallout 4's Smooth Criminal. As with any Bethesda release, Fallout 4 was met with critical acclaim and an army of fans eagerly waiting to jump into its post-nuclear world. But just like other huge open-world games like Skyrim and others, unintended bugs and glitches were continually encountered by players. One of the funniest has to be what happens to an NPC known as Nick Valentine. At one point in the game, this character decides he's the world's biggest Michael Jackson fan and begins to tilt his entire body like MJ did in the Smooth Criminal video. But Valentine isn't a fair-weather Jackson fan, oh no. This glitch then makes him walk around tilted, pulling off moves that even the King of Pop would be jealous of. If I could walk around on my back like that, I'd just take a nap wherever I went. Multitasking, y'all. And number 1 is Surgeon Simulator's Nightmare. Surgeon Simulator has appeared on many platforms and allows the player to carry out a number of complex operations. Needless to say, this often ends badly, which is probably part of its twisted charm. But in possibly the most gruesome glitch I've ever seen, during some of the operations, the patient begins crying tears of blood. Then his neck extends like a scene out of The Thing, and his head tries to leap off of the operating table. No matter what the player does after this, the patient's newfound skill as a rubber band takes over and his eyelids phase in and out of existence, and his head warps around the screen. Medical equipment surrounds the poor patient, but I don't think any form of medical intervention is going to cure that. Just put a band-aid on it, baby. He's gonna be alright.